Welcome everyone to Trailer to Film. This is where I take scenes from the trailer and I talk about it. That's it. And today we are going to be talking about Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Took me a while to watch this one, and while I don't think anyone was knocking down my door for me to review this, I would also have to say that the Fast and Furious movies really never were my cup of tea. I remember back in the day when the first film was advertised, I was really just bored out of my frickin' mind, waiting for that trailer to pass so I could just move on to the next one. I remember when the second one came out, and I remember assuming how movies were back then and how sequels without their original stars were just bad movies, and third movies without any of them should have been just direct to DVD. And then the fourth movie came out, and it was kind of like the first Fast and the Furious movie that I was actually interested in. I saw the third, so why not the fourth, right? They decided to bring back their original stars, so that's cool. Then I started to see what these movies were doing. The franchise itself was changing, but keeping the same concept. Want drag racing? You got 3 movies with those. You want a heist-type film? You got a couple with those. You want a thriller? Well, they're kind of mixed in between. I think it's mostly the fourth one that's mostly a thriller. Regardless, do you want a movie that saves the world with cars? Well, those are the rest of the films. Now we have Hobbs and Shaw. It's basically a separate entity from all of this, but it's within the same world in this universe. And I guess you could say that this film amps up saving the world from the unknown and known to about 100. It's really up there. And I mean, look, I love me some movies that have action in it. I love car chases. I'm a sucker for stupidity. Absolute. I mean, come on. Look at me. I'm stupid. So knowing what I know about these set of films and what they were from, like a grounded, drag racing movie to suddenly saving the world, they adapted and then continue to adapt to survive the ever-changing demands from us, the consumers. Hobbs and Shaw is ridiculous and embraces it at whole. You put together 2 men who met in the 7th movie, had to work together in the 8th, and have them do it again without the original crew, and have a bioengineered man who has personal ties to Shaw and is after Shaw's sister who took something from him. A virus. And that's your movie, guys. I don't need to explain anything else about the plot. What is in it, though, is a time-milking, physics-defying, banter-inducing Acme Dynamite kid all ready to explode in your face. Don't believe me? Watch the film and count how many times there are close-up shots of these actors talking directly into the camera. They are staring you down to unleash their fury. The trailers have always been the most entertaining thing about this franchise, minus the first couple of them. And the Fast and Furious Presents is no different. To tell you exactly how ridiculous this is going to be is pretty much the best thing they can do. They're self-aware of it, it's amazing, it's in your face, you know what you're getting yourself into. Especially when you get scenes like this.
You know what, you were right. This is your door.
What's the matter? You got a lot of bad guys behind that door?
That was an entertaining scene, for sure. It really did everything that it was supposed to do, and yet I think it's everything before this scene that really channels everything to this moment, where this is basically the pinnacle of how these two are, how they work, their chemistry together with banter, and how they actually work together. It's the only reason why this movie works. This movie was made for them. So, another scene that reached out to me was...
Look at me. I'm Black Superman.
Alright, so I think that we all can agree that Idris Elba is the king. Of what, you may ask? Everything. He is amazing. He is the dude that probably made the blueprints to the old school of life and has it in his basement and still mint condition because he looks at it periodically, like every day, because he's like, oh yeah, I did come up with that rule. Nice to see that people are still abiding by it. He's a formidable villain, and that's probably the height of what I could say here. And let's not go without saying that Vanessa Kirby is pretty awesome in this too. Competent, expressive, and progressive within the plot. She's definitely good at this. But here in Hobbs and Shaw, I think they're just having fun. Absolute fun, and it shows. So the last scene I'm gonna kind of meander about tonight with you guys is this. Okay, so that scene does happen, but not in the way you may think. In all honesty, these trailers give away way too much, and if you really think about it, I mean, like, really think about it, you don't care. They just show you the first, second, and third act in the trailer alone, and it was fun. You go into this film knowing what you're going to get into, and it's still fun. You don't care. You're going to love it. Or maybe you won't. Maybe it's just not your cup of tea. I don't know. But I can't tell you how many times I have thought to myself and expressed out loud to my dad, bullshit. Like that scene aforementioned, yeah, he's doing something else altogether that's still just as crazy chaotic, but it's not like he was holding 4 trucks and a helicopter together because, oh my god, they're going over a cliff and they might lose everything. No, not at all. No, that wasn't happening. Physics don't make sense. While incredibly detailed in the CGI, you can tell what's fake and what isn't. But who the hell cares? You know what you're getting yourself into, and you should just enjoy it. If you don't, that's okay too. For that, I'm gonna give Hobbs Shaw like it, but I probably wouldn't own. I just don't see myself coming back to this film for any kind of inspiration or fun times to be had. It was a fun one and done deal. A 24-hour movie. Alright, so Hobbs Shaw, what did you think of it? I'd love to talk with you about it. If you've got a second, of course. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Be kind, be reasonable, and let's talk. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here, I do movie and TV show reviews. Check out those if you're interested. Turn on those notifications. And, of course, check out the description box for more. But with that said, I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and